Hi everybody, I'm Jack Jinseki, and joining me today is Aqua. E- hi, Aqua.
Hi, what's going on?
Uh, Aqua is very shy.
I'm not that shy. I just like, I, I was told I had an interview almost, I kind of forgot, I kind of was dragged away yesterday by the godparent, by the god family, some issues happened.
Mm-hmm.
don't,
Well,
don't, like, guys, break a tie. Don't drive and then bust four tires within like an hour
mm.
after like waking your own kid up.
So, so Aqua, what kind of content do you like to make?
I am technically a YouTuber, but I'm still like relearning how to VTube again because I've been gone for 2 years.
Oh wow.
I've been actually streaming for a long time. I rebranded to this character because, well, I rebranded to Aqua because I felt my other characters didn't feel right to me, and when my friend had basically posted an OC that she was selling that she made for Adoptable,
Mm-hmm.
I felt that this character was me.
Hmm.
And she's the one that came up the name Aqualina.
So, how did you come up with this character?
Well, this was actually an Adoptable from a friend of mine through Facebook,
Yep.
and well, I basically decided, oh, this reminds me of what my favorite things are: axolotls, mermaids, and the ocean. So
Hmm.
I decided to become a demi goddess axolotl mermaid who's actually a primordial.
Oh,
One of the primordial an unknown primordial goddess.
wow. And do you have a rabbit there?
Uh, that's not a rabbit, that's a sea slug.
Oh, okay. It.
It's you know those like sea bunnies?
I've never seen that. I'm afraid that's new to me.
Oh my gosh, look it up, man. Sea bunnies are so cute. They look like little bunnies, but they're sea slugs, and they're just so adorable. Like, God, I look at them going like, oh my gosh, I love it.
Oh, yep, there it is. Yeah, I see that. Huh.
It represents the ocean.
Oh. So what made you want to be a VTuber?
When I first started out, I was first a IRL streamer.
Mm-hmm.
Did basically like the whole Animal Crossing thing that they brought out a couple of years ago around 2017.
Mm-hmm.
That Animal Crossing game. I did one of those where you basically like give out your islands and people pay for that just to like come onto your islands and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did that for a bit, thought, I want to do something else, so I tried VTubing, liked it, and I wanted to make more friends and stuff even though it was hard to do.
Hmm.
Like, I'm technically born a few with a birth defect plus also some mental health, but I also at age 20 had a mini stroke called a basal ganglia infrac.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 0.01% chance to have,
Wow.
and I'm one of the younger people to have that because of stress of working back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
and it caused a lot of issues where they didn't catch it in time, and I ended up having some brain damage,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot hard for me to interact with people at times. It's kind of hard
Hmm.
to relearn things because I sometimes forget, and I'm not computer savvy, guys. I am not computer savvy.
Hmm.
I am more the artsy type.
Well, if it makes any difference, I'm having a ball talking to you. Uh,
And I'm also a Pokemon lover, so sometimes when I'm supposed to be streaming, I'm either stuck dealing with internet issues or medical stuff that happened that I cannot like I try to tell people, even though I'm doing a subathon slash donathon, just know that with the weather right now, um, with rain and stuff, my internet crashes easily.
Oof. So
Plus,
what?
I don't have the best internet, so I'm also trying. I also have a friend trying to build me a PC right now because 7-year-old PC is starting to die. So I don't know how long
Hmm.
I have until I basically lose everything on this computer again.
Hmm. So do you have any lore?
Well, I'm still working on my lore. I'm had someone I'm paying to help me rewrite my lore a little bit better because I have problems with writing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
got a learning disability and my English isn't great with writing
Hmm.
stories, but I have good ideas. So they're helping me put it together. And I did have to use like a little bit I wrote it down. My family member decided to use ChatGPT against me and ask it to fix some words.
Uh, yeah.
And I literally looked at them going like, "You're an ass." This is a step sibling axolotl that's only a preteen. Like I have basically a few siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3 brothers, 2 of them are my stepbrothers. One is going to be a preteen this year, and he's the youngest axolotl uh hybrid of a
Mm-hmm.
thing. He's a Minecraft lover, and he randomly took ChatGPT, looked at my shit, took a picture of it, sent to ChatGPT, says, "Can you rewrite this for my sister?" And I literally looked at him like, "You little fricker."
So I
He loves computers. Like, I will say this: he's a computer nerd. He likes messing with that type of stuff. I don't.
hmm.
But he says sometimes you gotta use certain things to help people with disabilities. Like he says, I want to make an AI bot that helps people with writing disabilities, help them write a little bit better to make it sound professional, or
Hmm.
at least make it sound a little bit better and sound like them
I know
to
that
help them. And
I,
I know a lot of people hate AI, but
hmm. I know
sometimes.
that's sorry.
Sorry, you go first.
I was gonna say I know that's an issue at my work is that there are lots of people looking into AI to spruce up their technical writing, and I refuse to do that because I'm a better writer than ChatGPT. Uh,
I know that feeling. I call it, God damn it, but my brother figured out how to. He was messing with the software
hmm.
for a 13-year-old. He decided to go play with the coding on it
Mm-hmm.
because there's a way where you could take the AI bot and like code your own. And he put some funny things to it to actually make it sound like someone, an actual person. I'm like, "What'd you do?" He goes like, "I used your writing." I'm going like, "You shit! Don't use your sister against her." He goes like, "Well, you are a good writer at times, but you have bad problems with writing in general. You have good ideas, but you can't get it on paper that much. So I want to help you in some way." And I'm going like, "Oh, brother, you just love being an ADHD little shit." He goes like, "Yeah."
So, what's your favorite moment from being a VTuber?
Well, I've met so many people these last few months, and well, I met you through Inzo in
Yep,
I can't remember how
Enzio.
to say it. Enzio. I know it. I love Enzio after we played that game
Hmm.
of Repo. That was just so funny. We gotta do that again. That was totally hilarious. Where
Oh,
I'm just staying
absolutely.
next to you going like, he said don't come. He said don't come. Does he realize what he just said? Him just telling us, get your guys' mind out of the gutter. I click. You could have said it another way so it doesn't sound that wrong. You got my chat laughing, man.
Hmm.
My chat's even saying, you can't tell us to do that. You
You
can't edge us like that. I'm going like, oh god, Enzo, you made my chat like say, did you just tell us not to edge ourselves? I'm
oh
going,
boy.
oh god. I'm going, oh god, the chat has done it again.
So, what's what what makes you unique as a VTuber?
Well, I'm technically um disabled a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, having the brain problems I have,
Mm-hmm.
which is ADHD,
Mm-hmm.
the mini stroke that I had. I also have autism, which didn't get diagnosed till I was an adult. After my mini stroke, they found out a lot of it was autism that no one really noticed.
Mm-hmm.
I have a learning disability, plus also I cannot bend my thumbs.
Oh.
I'm born with a birth defect in my thumbs, where the tendons tightened over time, which caused a little bit of fusion in the bones,
Huh.
like the bone to actually fuse for some reason.
Hmm.
And they don't know how it happened, but at first it looks like I have a regular bone, but some of it's like set differently where it's not supposed to be. The tendons cause everything to shift, and I can't bend my thumbs, so it's a bit harder for me to play certain games with a keyboard or controller, which is kind of hard because I have to sometimes use a controller with Minecraft. Cobblemon. I have to
Hmm.
use both controller and the whole keyboard.
Hmm.
But I've learned that it's kind of fun being a VTuber because you get to meet so many different people. I'm part of a group called V Villains.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just a group of VTubers from different backgrounds. Some of us are new to VTubing. We got two Filipinos, and a bunch of us are from the US.
Nice.
We are going to be doing, somewhere around in March, we are going to be doing auditions for our group. And our CEO, which we call her Miss CEO,
Mm-hmm.
um, she's very sweet. She's the one that actually is the one that gets sponsorships because she does Kick and Twitch,
Hmm.
but she's gotten a lot of sponsorships. I know people say gambling's bad, but for her, it's like um, you get sponsorships, you do what you can to make money, and she puts it a lot towards helping us VTubers get like our computers and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and also like paying us whenever she can. Whatever we make, we split 50-50. Like on our Twitch and our Kick, we split it 50-50.
Hmm.
It's like everyone gets help. We even do sponsorships together. Whatever we make, those who help out with the sponsorships, whoever helps out the most, like donates or something towards it, they get a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I did one with Roblox.
Hmm.
I got my payback. It was really fun for that one.
Oh, good.
All we gotta do is play Roblox, get people to join Roblox and play with us. And I was just playing on like two of my old accounts, just going like, okay, time to have Roblox time. We're
Roblox.
gonna mess. We're gonna mess around. We're gonna play some games and be dumb.
Roblox is a bit of an oddity to me because I was kind of like it kind of became a thing after I kind of aged out of it. And so it was kind of weird seeing this weird phenomena in the background
I
that just
know.
became enormous that I had no idea about. And so I was
I
kind of
know.
like,
I'm almost 30, and I remember when it first came out that it came out around 2010.
hmm, what do you hope to accomplish through your channel?
I want to make friends and just have fun. I do want to bring kind of like positive vibes, but also like connect with people because um, I do have a bit of PTSD. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone through a lot where in the VTuber community, I have seen what it's like to be used by people just because of numbers or, well, oh, this person's got a disability. I'll
Mm.
use her for a bit, make her look bad a bit. Like, people just not getting to know someone fully and then just pushing them to the side because, oh, they met bigger people, oh, it's time to get rid of your buddies. And I'm going like, nah, I'm not like that. I
Hmm.
want to be there for everyone. It's how you vibe. Like
Hmm.
Enzo. I vibe with him and you guys because you guys were sweet.
Oh, thank you.
You understood how that I was had a disability and I sometimes like was having problems with the game, but you guys helped me out a lot just understanding that sometimes I say weird shit.
Hmm.
Although
Well,
I kept like dying.
in fairness, you are in the VTuber community. Saying weird shit is not unique to you in this way.
No, but you can understand. I sometimes make people question or people block me randomly because of the shit I say.
Hmm.
Or they'll think, "Oh, she's trying to hit on me. She's trying to get with me." I'm like, "No, I'm just a natural flirt." And a lot of people forget YouTubers. Some of us are just dumb
Hmm.
butts where sometimes I'm the type that's too friendly. I get told that I'm too friendly to people. Because I was raised by people to always respect your elders, be nice to
Hmm.
everyone, and treat people with kindness. It doesn't matter what background you're from. Treat people with kindness. Don't be an ass. Don't
Absolutely.
have an ego. Don't be egotistic. In the VTubing community, a lot of people use this as a business thing to make money, but there are people out there that are unable to go places because of their disabilities and
Hmm.
wanting to make friends. And I'm one of those people that just wants to have good memories. And yes, I don't get to travel much because of my health and the way the government is. And I grew up basically dirt poor.
Hmm.
I grew up lower middle class near poverty line, and I didn't grow up having like a lot of people did. I grew up hand me downs, not having really a computer till I was a certain age.
Hmm.
Like, I grew up while my parents were still in college.
Hmm.
Because my parents had me like age 20.
Wow.
They're my folks are now divorced, but my dad is gonna be 50 this year,
Wow.
and he actually went through college while raising two children, gained his master's degree in arts,
Wow.
and most of my life was moving from town to town. Um, him in college, I do remember like have being able to go to classes with him. I was the child during his art classes that before his teacher passed away a couple years ago, his teacher kept putting an art thing up that was of why you don't bring children to class at times and leave them at the teacher's desk with a Sharpie
Hmm.
and the calendar.
Hmm.
I kind of scribbled on the calendar. I did art on it. I got told I had some good ideas for abstract. I took a bunch of colors and just started doodling. Like, I got told that I learned a lot of things. I don't know how to much do anatomy anymore, but I've learned. I'm slowly getting back into drawing again.
Hmm.
I'm relearning how to try to draw anatomy and people better. But I grew up watching anime, and Pokemon's been the most thing I've been into since I was really small when it first came out. I was born a year after Pokemon. I was born in 97. Pokemon came out in 96.
Hmm.
And the games didn't come out till 97, February of 97, and I was born a month before that.
I'm
But I grew up with the games from the originals, too.
I'm just wondering, when did the card game come out? Because I thought that
90 February of 96.
really, I thought for some reason I thought that it came out in like the
Pokemon's
late
30.
'80s.
No, Pokemon's in it's 30 this year.
Wow. Yeah. It. Hold on. Development.
Came out in 96. They're 30 years old today.
Wow. That's crazy. That's wild.
That is the ones that came out in the 80s is that is now 45 years old is Mario is 45. Um uh Zelda is 40. Kirby is 34 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon has hit 30. Metro, I think, is a lot older. Like, Nintendo's been around for a while. Donkey
Yeah.
Kong is, I guess, 46. But Pokemon is one of those games that's really popular because it's interesting. A lot of us people that are millennials have played it since we were little. It's a franchise. A lot of people don't realize you gotta start from the beginning. You gotta watch it all from the beginning, guys. Watch the anime from the beginning. Read the manga. Learn your Pokemon.
Mm.
Trust me, it's very fun. It's like magic. But Pokemon's got some issues where they like the Mega Evolution for Megdamia for
Mm-hmm.
Chikorita's final form. I felt disappointed in the Mega Evolution. I'll put it honestly. Sorry,
Yeah.
I feel disappointed in that one because they should have done something a little bit different. But I feel like Pokemon needs to hire fakeman artists, find the people that do fake mods
Mm.
and get some inspiration from them because the people that do art right now for fakie mods, they should hire some of those people because holy heck,
Mm.
I've seen fan games do better than the actual Pokemon games. I'm so sorry, Pokemon, but it's true. You got some fan games that actually got really good ideas. You guys should hire those people because a lot of those guys are really talented.
Mm.
I know a lot of people say fan games are bad, but a lot of them, a lot of people who do the fan games for Pokemon fan games are really talented. A lot of them have good ideas, and a lot love their craft. They don't even they do this all in their own time. They use their own money. Like a lot of them work really hard to make the game unique. They don't even take donations.
Mm.
Like it's one of those things where a lot of us who do love Pokemon, we want it to be better, but sometimes Pokemon's decisions, like with the Power World stuff, kind of sad that people forget that Power World's its own game. It's different from Pokemon, but I don't get why
I, I
Pokemon.
I
I
can't
don't
help
get
but
why.
feel that Pal World was kind of invented just to take a stab at Nintendo because they know that Nintendo is litigious as hell and they were gonna take a move at it.
Yeah, and there's other games now taking moves at it, and Nintendo doesn't go after them. And I'm like, Nintendo messed up with their patent thing. I got told because people are saying Power World's gonna win,
Hmm.
and then people go like, no, Pokemon's gonna win. Pokemon's got more. Nintendo's got a lot more power, but I go like, Nintendo screwed up because they're trying to make patents that affect all games.
Hmm.
With like the Pokeballs, like catching mechanics and flying mechanics, they're trying to get those taken away. Where Pokemon actually took had stole some stuff from actually Dragon Quest.
Hmm.
Um, if you've seen Dragon Quest, a lot of their monsters actually that they didn't use are actually in Pokemon, but a little bit betterized.
Hmm.
The monster catching thing, it first started out with Dragon Quest, guys.
Nice.
That's what a lot of people don't know. Is that plagiarism is all around us, sadly.
Oh yes. Oh god, what's if you plagiarize one person's work, it's called theft. If you plagiarize a lot, it's called research.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people do that. I've seen a lot of people like take inspiration from D&D and put it in Pokemon.
Yeah. So,
It's like, yeah.
so what would you talk about with your favorite VTuber?
Um, I've actually talked with one of my favorite VTuber. We talk about art. A
Hmm.
lot of times we talk about our favorite things. Like, I met so many VTubers that some of them I've actually gotten to know
Hmm.
pretty well, and some I just click with. I had one that just is always like asking how I'm doing. Her mods is always asking. Alora VT, one of her mods actually does talk to me and checks up on me
Mm-hmm.
whenever he can. And in her servers, in her server I got nicknamed by a mod because I re-nicknamed the precious um egg Aqua
Mm-hmm.
because I could turn into an egg form.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do it right now because I'm too embarrassed by it. Because oh shoot! Oh come on, not again! Give me a moment. I gotta fix something. I did a stupid.
Ah.
Okay, I fixed it. I did a stupid,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm learning. Plus,
Absolutely.
look at me, guys. I'm a maid now. But I love like everything. Like I get to meet so many people that it's so fun that sometimes I get a little bit overwhelmed, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's just really hard when people get very grumpy for no reason. Like, come on, guys, we're a bit all crazy at times. Like, come on.
Hmm.
I sometimes get overwhelmed where I'm going like, okay, guys, don't overwhelm me, but it's kind of like just having fun. Like, you know, just have fun, guys. Like, don't be a dick to people. Don't act like you're better than others. I know a lot of people nowadays get egos once they get big,
Hmm.
or they try to be professional, but they sound like an ass.
Mm-hmm.
But connecting with your audience is the best way. I know a lot of people are different in private than they are in real, like in their VTube mode, and I feel like sometimes you gotta be yourself, and people go like, oh, I hate role playing, but think about it. You're playing a character. Technically, you are role playing.
Hmm.
If you think about it,
I would say that you are not who you typically are when you're in front of a camera. As soon as you're in front of a camera, your personality shifts in a very immediate way.
yeah, I sometimes get a little bit dumb. That's the true part about me. I sometimes show myself as the awkwardness, but a lot of people don't know. Sometimes I can switch from on and off,
Hmm.
and you can be yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I get told that I share too much personal information. I go like, wait, what? I just go like, I'm not sharing my address or anything. I'm not sharing my real name. I go by Aqua. I do mention my family, but I don't share too much.
Mm-hmm.
I mention that I'm in like the Midwest, that I'm in a state called Misery. A lot of us VTubers do that. We talk about our own states. Well, try becoming from the Midwest and Misery,
Mm-hmm.
and you sometimes get an accent like this, sweetheart, where you sound southern, and people start asking you questions like, "Are you Australian?" No, I'm Midwestern. When you're from the Midwest, you get a bunch of other accents from everywhere. If you live in the country, you'll sometimes get a country accent where it's southern, but you got a twang to it. Like some of us here in where I'm from, you either get a northern accent, southern accents, a midwestern accent, which is a combination of both.
all, all
And
I all I know is that if you have a Midwest or Southern accent, you can make a man's day just by calling him hun.
hun, what you need, hun? And I always go like, sweet cheeks, hun. I've had one person go like, okay, what is it with you and the mascot Tony the Tiger? I go like, you don't want to know. If I start acting Italian, it's because someone brought up a personal name of mine that I don't go by, and I just go like, "Come on, guys, don't be like this. Come on, don't break my heart. Don't break my heart. Come on, be nice to each other."
uh, okay.
I learned a lot of impressions. Learning.
What might you see a VTuber doing that would instantly make you want to watch?
When a VTuber is actually interacting with their audience and actually talking with other VTubers, being nice to VTubers that are smaller and just hanging out with them through community nights, and just being nice to them in general, like talking to them
Mm-hmm.
and making friends. I know that there's some VTubers that are really big that actually do hang out with their community, like Trua.
Mm-hmm.
Trua Orca, oh my gosh, she's the sweetest person ever.
Would you
She
believe?
actually,
Would you believe that I've interviewed her?
oh my gosh, you have interviewed the Sweet Cheeks.
I have.
She is such a. I will say this: she is such a sweetie. She's always treated me with kindness. Her and her husband Nello are the sweetest. I met them through Leafy
Mm-hmm.
Van Gogh, and me and him had a problem in 24, but we worked it out because I realized that I do have memory problems, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I say things I don't mean to because people will tell me shit, and I ended up believing them.
Mm-hmm.
And they helped me out, and they've always treated me with kindness. True is such a sweetie. She understands my disability, asks how I'm doing, and whenever we do get to see each other at call, I just hang out with her and sometimes and a few people, and we all just chill. It's one of
Mm.
those things where I go like at times to give myself. I hope Nello realizes. Don't piss. I have a feeling he's gonna make his wife mad one of these days, and he's gonna be ready to post saying, "I have set the wifey again." Because those two are sweet. Like, I love Nello's Burgers and Dive thing. I'm going, like, someday I'll be on that show just to, like, axolotl moment. Axolotl moment. I'm gonna be an axolotl because I've actually have. I've said some things that made even Nello get in trouble by his wife.
uh, so, what advice would you give to someone who wants to be an entertainer?
Always be yourself, even in character. Try being yourself. Find something that you love, make a character that you love that fits to you. I know a lot of people say that having a character that exactly like you in some ways but different
Mm.
actually does help you out a lot in the run, because a lot of people will play a character that doesn't really fit their who they truly are,
Mm.
and they start getting like having a person that's, I've noticed in some VTubers, they'll play a character, they'll make a character, they'll play it, and then afterwards, when they're in private, they're a lot more different than what they say they are. Just be yourself.
Mm.
I know a lot of VTubers tell you, when making a VTuber, find something that fits you. Like for me, I'm an axolotl demigoddess mermaid slash sire, is because I do have my moments like this where I'm so nice and dorky, but there's times where I can be a siren, which is more the darker side, where I do love goth things, but I also want to be cutesy and stuff. Um, Basically, with my disability, I do have mood problems.
Mm-hmm.
So this is basically how I see myself is how my lore is gonna be about is being from a different dimension, being basically trapped in another dimension where pearls, they're, I call abyssal pearls, they're light of wishes and hopes of other VTubers, and I connect through their stories by
Mm-hmm.
appearing as an egg somewhere and then hatching in their world and experiencing their world, and then basically going to find that person, trying to make friends to figure out a way how to break my own
Mm.
punishment by breaking out of where I'm at and revealing who I really look like.
Mm.
Because Aqua's true form is a lot different than what people perceive me as like this. She's a little bit different. I'm
Mm.
still working on what her true form is going to look like. Because how my character is, it deals with being someone who's been treated like an outcast all because of being different.
Mm.
And that no matter where you are in the world, just being yourself is the best way. making connections, vibing with people is the best way to make connections. VTubing's a lot hard. I do recommend if not to VTube when you're young, VTube when you're an adult because it's a lot more easier being an adult because you get to do a lot more things. You could start out with just a PNG or a drawing or a pre-made model or a customizable model.
Hmm.
For me, this model took since what took almost a year to get created because my artist mom took a year of her time to create this
Wow.
because she had other children, but she took her time with this one because she said she wanted to make this the most beautiful one she could think of. She's really talented. She's on my Twitter. She's a sweetie, and hell, she even does payment plans. But she's a sweet girl.
Hmm.
And when I first came to her about my model, um, she at the time was selling them for 400 for just 12 expressions.
Mm-hmm.
She's gone up a little bit, but she gave me like a discount because I'm her kid, and she's a sweet pie. I will say this that VTubing can be tough when you're starting out.
Mm-hmm.
Just be yourself. Sometimes it's taken me a bit to learn that sometimes you gotta learn how to do connections. You gotta do videos. I'm still trying to figure. I can't do videos, guys. I suck at editing. My brain does not function well with computers. I usually have to ask a friend or someone that knows how to do it in
Hmm.
order to do things, and it can be hard, but it also can be fun. Just having your community clip you and just saying, "Hey, clip me at any moment you think is funny," and just tell people, "Hey, if you want to clip me, we got some fun things going on. Just be yourself."
Absolutely. So, what was the first anime you feel really connected with you?
The first anime, there's a lot that connected with me, but there is one. Um, I gotta relook it up, but I've grown up on so many animes, but the one that reminds me the most just came out like last year that I kept like watching too much of, which is the Apothecary Diaries that just came out.
Mm-hmm.
Because it reminds me of myself, because Mao Mao, if you know that she was raised not having that much love in her life.
Yes.
And I understand that feeling because I grew up in a situation where your parents fight a lot.
Mm.
And my mother had some mental issues. She didn't really treat me the best, or my brother. She was kind of controlling at times. Like didn't let me be a kid. Like I had to grow up a little bit faster than my brother because she babied him, but also I had to be mother him to get him to understand to like help him understand that to be a little bit more active. He was more the quiet type because my mom had this weird habit of being too overprotective with us kids. Like, you wanted to go hang out with the friends. Oh, I gotta meet the parents first.
Yeah.
And it was always that type of stuff, like wanting to meet the parents. Didn't want us like going places by ourselves. Even when we were with friends, family, they didn't want us like going far. They wanted us to stay like in a certain area. We lived in apartment complexes, and we sometimes had to sneak over to our school, which we had this little area where you could go through a little tunnel that was in the creek
Mm-hmm.
of the that had a little bit of sewage, but we would walk through it just to go to our school and just swing on the swing set in the playgrounds.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I've dealt with family that I've I'm from a family that's got issues. I'll be honest. One being from military,
Mm-hmm.
the other being small town folk, and the military side being from upper middle class, and then having a grandfather that's image is everything type deal.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up basically in a situation where to one side of my to my grandfather's view, I'm a black sheep because I was basically born when my parents weren't married, they were dating.
Mm.
And I got taken away for a little bit around the time my brother was born because of an accident. Someone thought my mom had kicked me when she was trying to get me up on the toilet in a Walmart because the fact is, heavily pregnant women, if they're really heavily pregnant, cannot pick up their own child to help them get to the toilet because I was so short
Mm.
and small, I did not look like the age I was. So it was a lot harder for me to get on toilets back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, I had some very traumatic things that I still remember that people go like, "How the fuck can you remember that from that time?" And I go like, when you're taken from separated from your parents out of the blue in a Walmart, getting into being put in a car seat, then having a police officer randomly take you out while your parents go inside and put you in a cop car, then take you to a foster home foster home for a bit for like
Mm-hmm.
a day or so, and then you asking them where your parents are at, mentioning that your mom's heavily pregnant and your brother's about to be born like in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And it terrified me. Like, I went to go live with my grandmother for almost a year and a half.
Wow.
I was stuck with my grandma, but she took me in a little bit longer till preschool was over. Then I went back with my folks and basically stayed with them. And I still remember when the whole Twin Towers fell. I was actually sick that day.
Mm-hmm.
I had gotten a really bad I for some reason had gotten really sick. I don't know how, but everyone in the kindergarten, everyone in preschool on that day were all down sick because all of us had gotten the stomach flu
Wow.
and a fever because we don't know how, but one of the kids' mom was down sick and she didn't realize she gave it to everyone. And she was also working there, so it was kind of funny. Like everyone came down sick. A lot of us were watching Sesame Street. Then all of a sudden, news came on. Um, it was like, how do I put it? Very shocking because I actually had a friend that in grade school and preschool that's dad was supposed to be on the plane, but he missed it because
Mm.
his kid got down sick, and luckily he didn't go on that plane.
Wow.
But it was really shocking. Like, I still feel bad for everyone that did not make it. I know there was a bunch of firefighters from all around the world that tried to go help during that time of going through the wreckage and stuff. I know that I'm from a small town. We've had some firefighters pass away through sad events.
Mm.
And my grandmother used to work in ambulance billing,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had to most of my half of my high school go up to her work and basically sit while she worked and wait for her to get done to just take me home. Cause I'd be the type of kid to go like, okay, I'm going to get dropped off at this bus stop and go to my grandmother's work
Mm-hmm.
and go with her for a bit to get out of the get away from my folks. And my folks didn't own a house till I was a senior. Like I've grown
Wow.
up in apartments, had to live at a family member's house. Like we didn't actually own a house till I was a senior, and a lot of people always mention about remembering their childhood homes, and I go like, I moved around a lot. I didn't really have homes, real childhood homes. I had more of temporary homes. I do live with my grandmother, and I'll be honest, I'm living in her office that has now became part of my bedroom. I can't do much stuff, but I always tell people that when you can't live with your own family because the issues of the past rise up, um, my my dad's right now raising two. One is now an adult, the other one's a preteen, and they're also dealing with my step grandmother who has got health issues, and their house isn't big enough. Plus, allergic to cats, guys. But
Mm.
yesterday, I will say this. Yes, yesterday I found out that last Thursday, guys, my cat that is at my parents' house that's named Onyx. I've known her since she was a kid when they first got her. I don't get to visit my folks a lot, but this cat has been like the one cat that allows me to pet her and love on her and hold her. Even her like other sister doesn't allow me to do that. Her sister's kids allow me to like one of them named Sabbath does allow me to pick her up. Um when I came to visit, I heard little mewing and stuff, and I was trying to figure out what it was. Look down, see a container, look inside and go like, who had babies? And my folks just like, oh, Onyx did. I see Onyx just appear, and she brings me up her kitten, puts them next to me on the bed, and walks away to go eat and stuff, and just gives me that look of, you can watch my babies for a bit.
Mm.
And we did had to hand feed like a little. We do hand feed them also because Onyx is not used to having. This is her second litter. She's not used to a big litter. She had 4 kittens last year, and we sadly had one that was a runt that passed away from unknown causes.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't produce enough milk at times. I've noticed like she does not produce enough milk, so you sometimes have to help out certain cats.
Mm.
Because some cats, even when they're pregnant, there's a lot of cats that don't produce enough milk for their babies.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you gotta help them. They're now 1 week and 2 days old today. They opened their eyes yesterday, so that was shocking. One male, pure black buckwheat. 4 females.
Mm.
One's named after Trua, one's named after Shu. Another one is named after a male VTuber, Ganwa. And well, it's just interesting, like having a bunch of cats at my folks. We were supposed to get one neutered, but with right now how finances are, my folks, they're trying to get rid of cats.
Mm.
But it's always fun.
Yeah.
But
So
one's named Raz after a friend.
nice. So, which anime had the best music?
There's so many different types of animes with really good music.
Mm.
That's the problem.
Well, name a couple.
Full Metal Alchemist, the song again.
Mm-hmm.
Mermaid Melody.
Mm-hmm.
The Legends of the Mermaid song. There's one that's really old that's I can't even pronounce it that well. I do have on my phone of the song though.
Hmm.
I can get it up.
That's okay.
It's Fukashiki U Fushigi.
Okay.
It's a really good song. Annalie did a theme of it a couple years ago, like 8 years ago. She did a little thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Sending you the link. It's a really good song. If you listen to the Japanese version, it's a really old anime. Um, I really like the music to it. I read
Mm.
like the manga to it, and it made me sad, like really sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love different animes. Like Yuri on Ice has got a good opening. A lot of animes have good openings. Classic ones, Shuko character Hop Step Jump was really fun to listen to because it goes like hop step jump, do dun dun, chip chip whipped cream, the me I wanna be, which also reminds me of myself because how I am, I'm an egg, but I can be so many different things that my lore is developing each time I go, where I'm creating new outfits, new ideas,
Mm-hmm.
new ways to show my character. Basically, if you know Shugo Kid, which is a manga that talks about not knowing who you want to be, like you could have like a personality where people see you as this, but when you're by yourself, there's a different side of you.
Mm.
And that's what I basically base myself off of a little bit is Shogo Care. And I'll be
Mm.
honest, it is a dorky manga, but it's the most cutest anime ever.
Nice. So
Sorry if I talk so much.
no, it's fine. Uh, if you could go to an anime convention tomorrow, whom would you cosplay as?
Hmm. I would I've always wanted to cosplay as my character, but I do want to cosplay as Rouge the Bat
Mm-hmm.
or Amy. I do have one cosplay I've always wanted to do. It's based off of a book character. Um, Raven Madison from Vampire Kisses. She's a goth girl, but I
Mm-hmm.
resonate with her since I was a kid. She's just one of those things, but I've never been able to go to a convention due to people in my life kind of ruining that for me, where my parents became too overprotective.
Mm-hmm.
And cops getting kind of called for that just to
Mm.
warn my parents that something happened, and I never got to go. Plus, with my Tremors episodes, sometimes I get really nervous and loud noises and stuff with being autistic and sensitive hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm in a new place, I get kind of nervous, and I do want to go to a convention.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really hard because I don't know what to do at those places. Plus, expensive. Finding a place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, not having really like people to help me go to them because I do have to be watched and kept like in check because of having a disability.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to do those little things where you go on like the carts and you go around like meeting people, but I also want to buy like stuff at there. Like I'm one of those people that wants to like also be on the computer side with those bots, but also have someone that's there to like send me my packages because I do love getting like things from conventions. I've had a few friends that have sent me things like little postcards or little things from conventions
Mm-hmm.
and just tell me, hey, we've got you some things. Here are some little things we got you. Um, it's always fun.
Mm.
Um, I just love I just love the way of conventions. I know that I'm reworking on losing a bit of weight for medical reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Learning how to take care of my skin. I do have a condition called atopic dermatitis severe type where I don't produce enough moisture in my skin, so it kind of like looks like psoriasis, but I have the eczema version.
Mm-hmm.
And atopic dermatitis can happen at any age. A lot of times it happens in adulthood, but mine happened when I was very young. I've had it since I was really little, and my skin, for some reason, I get rashes or basically start itching. And it's hard for me to wear makeup and stuff because you gotta look at like sensitivity of skin. You gotta look at if you have a makeup allergy, all that. And I want to find like people that can make a makeup brand that's for people with my condition that need help with their skin a little bit more because when you have a skin condition and you can't like wear certain things without irritation. I also have it in my eyes, which really fucks with me because I got told that I if I don't be careful with not rubbing my eyes, I could go blind in the near future.
Mm.
So I do wear glasses because of seeing issues. I'm nearsighted.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I have my glasses off for this because of the fact that glasses do not work well with camera with uh iPhones that well.
Mm.
They kind of mess up. Plus mine is not B bridged, but I still use it an iPhone to help.
Mm-hmm.
But I am saving up to actually get my model V bridged and have a few little things with like more boob bouncing. Having a friend of mine help me fix model issues to make me look more natural.
Mm-hmm.
We somewhat got it to where it looks natural because you could see I move a lot, but you could see that I do go back and forth.
Mm.
And also, wait, one moment. Look at my shoes. If I do this,
Hmm.
my shoes actually do the whole if I change, you'll see something really cute with my shoes. It kind of like my shoes actually do like move on their own when they want to.
Yep.
And I basically base myself on my real height. I'm actually 4'11",
Mm-hmm.
and this character is 4'11" with the same boob size I do, but more, as you can see, more bigger
Mm-hmm.
because I am technically short stacked, but also sadly the type with big boobs, guys.
Mm.
Big boobs with a small body does not work well.
Yeah. So, what would you make a beeline for at a convention if you were to go?
art, art. I gotta go look at the art. I gotta go look at Poke cards. If I see a VTuber that I really love or a voice actor, I gotta go meet them and do an impression.
Mm-hmm. Which game did you have the most fun playing on stream?
Hmm. I've had mini games that I played on stream. I've never actually completed all of them, but the most fun I've had is actually Pokemon.
Oh,
But I've been trying Minecraft a bit.
okay.
Like, there's many different games, but there's so many games that I go like, ooh, games.
Hmm.
Like, Peak is fun to a point, although spiders and me dying all the time because I suck at Peak.
Yep.
But I love many different games. Like, oh my gosh, there are so many that I go like, ooh, learning. But so many games, so much time, so many different things. It's like every game is very fun.
Hmm.
I'm a variety streamer. I play a bunch of different games.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes my internet does not allow me to play like certain games I really want to play, but it's like um my computer's old, so sometimes it does not like to work properly.
Yeah.
But I've grown up with so many different games that Pokemon has been the most what I've loved. I've played different ones with friends and just going like, "Hey,
Hmm.
I really like this game. Why is this game so fun? Why is this game hilarious?"
Nice. So, what's a song that you can't help but dance to when you hear it?
Oh, I cannot help it if I hear like random anime music. Um, like if I hear anything that's like very funny,
Mm-hmm.
I'll start dancing to it like caramel dancing.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up on that stuff and I go like, "Guys, you got to know that some of us here are old school. You never know
Hmm.
when we're going to be like you hear something you're going like, "Oh, damn. Good music." Um, but any type of music. But
Nice.
I don't really listen to rap that much
Mm-hmm.
or like most songs that have a lot of like sex about it.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm weird. I really like songs with meaning.
Mm.
Um, it's whatever my mood is. Like, I'm one of those people that any type of music I'll listen to. If it's got a good beat, if it's got something good to it, like
Mm.
Visions of Atlantis is a good band. They're a metal pirate band,
Huh.
and I listen to metal Viking stuff too. Um, I've listened to country, old rock and roll, rock, Christian rock.
Mm-hmm.
I've been made fun of for the fact that I'll find certain songs from certain artists and just randomly listen to them.
Mm.
And depends on my mood. Like I love nightcore stuff at times too, because
Mm.
nightcore is very funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I love any type of music. Like I tell people, don't mind me. Um I love being myself.
Nice.
It's just one of those things where I just tell people just be yourself, be a dork, be happy.
So, what's your favorite way to chill out?
My favorite way to chill out is just hang out with friends and just like doing the most of what you can do. Like just
Hmm.
chilling, having fun.
Okay. Uh, what's the strongest reaction you've ever had to a movie?
Um damn, I've had to the point where I cried during one movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was interesting. Um I don't know how to explain it. I've um I basically have cried to a lot of movies. Any type of movie that has something emotional or something sad that actually you can relate with will actually make me cry, like the Avatar.
Okay.
Um, Lord of the Rings series. There
Mm-hmm.
was a few character deaths that really got to me. For some reason, a lot of animes do have some characters where it's like you can relate to them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Buffy the Vampire Slayer had a few characters where it made me sad. I read some books where like the ending was very very sad.
Mm-hmm.
but any type of movie that's got like something that hits with you, resonates with you with a certain character, and that character dies, it's just like instantly like fucks with me. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, why did you guys gotta do that to us?
Yeah, I know that. There were a few anime that I had that reaction to as well. So, uh what's something crazy that you've always wanted to try doing?
Something crazy I've always wanted to try doing? Hmm. I would really love to just, well, I don't know how to really explain it. I've always thought um I'm trying to figure out how to. Can we repeat the question a little bit? My
Sure.
brain.
What's something crazy you've always wanted to try doing?
I've always honestly wanted to get actually in doing voice acting again and having help doing voice acting stuff to get myself back into voice acting. I've always wanted to like um you know how many people love to sing and stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
love singing.
Hmm.
I'm always afraid because the fact is I do have mic issues at times where I want to get back into music, voice acting again. I want to try it and try to get myself out there. I know that I am like the slowest person because I have to like get motivated. And lately, I haven't been motivated because of how so many things have changed and me trying to learn how to relearn things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I tell people it gets kind of hard when you're like um new to things and people just go like, "Oh, come on, you can do it." And I'm going like, to a point,
Hmm. Nice.
but I try my best.
Nice. So, what's something you made that you're proud of?
Oh, what I've made?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. That is hard, but I have made with the help of my dad, when we first moved into our house, when we first got an actual house and I got my own room, my dad allowed me to paint what color of my room I ever wanted.
Yep.
I chose purple because I wasn't allowed to have black. My dad said black walls. No.
Your dad
He
was right. Black walls are terrible.
I wanted you. Okay, what I wanted to do with my room was take black walls but put neon colors on it.
Hmm.
Because I was into the type of like skulls and stuff where I wanted to have something that fit my aesthetic.
Hmm.
But he took a wall that was purple and put white in it and made it look like just splotches of white.
Mm-hmm.
And to some of my friends, it was very abstract, but there was things that you could like look at and put on the wall and make it look like clouds to some
Hmm.
people, like little dots of like snow or clouds. And my dad did that as a way to show my artistic side because I used to be part of in school. Um, I used to draw a lot. I was part of art masters, but was one of the people that had problems that didn't even know how she got into art masters, but she did. But my teacher saw talent in me. I was kind of the one. Time was senior year. Didn't know really how to fix my assignments, how to draw people a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Had to have help like doing a grid with a teacher's help. Like had to have a friend like do the grid for me because I would have problems like gridding
Mm-hmm.
because of not having bendable thumbs, but also having like slight shaking.
Yep.
And at the time, I got told I was really good when I'm really focused on art. and I'm doing a project where I have to like watercolor someone. And we did this project where we did watercolors. We basically drew artwork for orphans, did self portraits of them,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of us used the grid method because it was a lot easier to do grid. A lot of people that are artists don't use grids, but some of us do use grids because sometimes when you're having to watercolor but also like put certain things in for a kid that's an orphanage in South America.
Mm-hmm.
We had a few that were from Asian countries that we did these self portraits a for this few of these orphanages where we drew artwork for them. We even on their art were allowed to do any type of background.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the type to be the most weirdest person with my art.
Mm-hmm.
Was I had a habit of just putting something silly like drawing something from Hello Kitty or something that was like a little Pokemon joke um in the background, also having it gridded just to get it right.
Hmm.
Our art teacher taught us how to do where you take a grid and you also take a cartoon and you add a skeletal system to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when Pokemon X and Y came out with Finnegan,
Yep.
Froakie and stuff, I did a Finnegan version where I did a skeletal system of Finnegan.
Nice.
It was fun, but it was also hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought about doing that again. It's just it takes so long, and sometimes I have to have like ask people that are artistic friends to like help me grid. Um, Sometimes I know that you have to get like certain paper like cut down, and sadly I don't have like one of those cutting boards no more like I used to in school, and not a lot of craft supplies. So it gets really interesting. I always tell people if you look on my throne and you see art supplies, just sending me art supplies or just sending me something that's art related, like um surprise gifts where it's just like art, just art supplies or anything like that,
Yeah.
makes me happy because I do love Miniverse.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been thinking about doing a hand cam stream once I get situated enough in my room where I have a smaller desk
Mm-hmm.
and I could do a little bit more hand cam stuff.
Hmm.
Where I want to get like a desk that's like movable that I can like have at my seat. Like I have a gaming chair, but I thought about getting like one of those foldable things where I can figure out a way with a friend to like make it where it's I could just put it on my chair and just work through my chair and just have the camera there at a certain angle where you see my hands, you see a little desk, and you see me like crafting and stuff, and me just looking up and talking about the craft and just having fun, um, and just being myself. And a lot of people don't get to see that with me with games because it's always hard
Mm-hmm.
when you only got like I use a TV thing to talk to chat, and I don't have like a second monitor because desk is small, so
Mm-hmm.
don't have a second monitor. My friend is coming up next month to help me like get certain things to fix a PC, and they're staying a week, thank gosh. And we're just really doing our best. A lot of my friends know me for just playing with resin or
Mm-hmm.
collecting art supplies, and then sometimes I'll have a great idea for art and I'll get it halfway done, and then I have to put away because I don't have supplies for it. Or it's like too cold during the winter and I can't go outside, which I have joked that I wish I had like a second, like a small laptop or something that I could take outside that I can hook up to a phone for the camera portion and have my hand cam and have it to where I basically am working with the hand cam or something connected to it where I'm basically live streaming, but I'm also crafting and stuff and just having fun.
Mm.
Is what I really want to do is just have fun, craft, and make things. I know I'm not the best, and a lot of people who have like sometimes have seen my hands and stuff. A lot of people ask how I deal with eczema, and sometimes I'll wear gloves, sometimes I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll wear like something that's um hand warmers. I have lost mine, but people will just ask how I deal with my skin condition because I've had a few people like come in the past as a YouTuber. Since I have a fans list, I had someone ask about my skin condition, and it kind of let me down because I got told by people that having scars and stuff is not cool. I go like, when you're born with a skin condition and you have anxiety and don't mean to itch, but it's kind of like a old habit that you can't get rid of is what my problem is.
Yeah.
I grew up with that type of problem, so I always tell people just remember there are people out there that cannot help what they do. They try their best, but you gotta give them support in some way. You gotta help them in some way. You gotta be nice. Always be nice to people.
Mm.
Don't be an ass. But I basically love resin crafting. I have a skull that's in my room that I made with resin that I was just testing it out. Kind of had a fluke, but it worked well. Haven't made another one yet because I can't figure out what color to do.
Mm.
But it was just a clear skull. Um, it did get some other resin on it because I was being dumb one night.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I love crafting and I'm just a variety streamer that does a lot of things. I don't have a particular niche. Um, that's what a lot of people have is niches, and I'm just this person that goes like, I'm a variety streamer. You don't know what I'm gonna be doing that day. I know a lot of VTubers have groups where they have a certain niche they play for their fans, and I'm like, even as an entertainer, you want to play things for yourself, right? You want to have
Yeah.
fun playing other games. Like,
Yeah.
you don't always have to please people. You can also just have fun doing your own games and then tell people, hey, just know I'm a variety streamer. You're gonna have different games at different times. Just give people space. Like,
Yeah.
I have friends that have different disabilities. In my VTuber group, we actually have someone that's in a wheelchair named Dadel. He has a condition. I can't. I keep forgetting what it's called, but he's in a wheelchair, and it's always hard because he has to use a ventilator at times, and I've heard it. A few of his siblings have disabilities also where they're in wheelchairs, and I always tell people that don't discriminate. Like, I
Mm.
always tell people don't make fun of my friends. Like, some of
Of
us
course.
who have our disabilities, I've grown up with people that have really bad disabilities where um I had a neighbor growing up that was autistic nonverbal, but she was in a wheel she had trouble walking,
Mm.
and she had to be in a wheelchair at times.
Mm.
Like, had built very bad developmental malaise. She wasn't walking properly, so they had her in a wheelchair for a bit because she had some problems where when she tried to walk, she'd fall,
Mm-hmm.
and she would try to communicate and she'd get frustrated easily.
Yep.
Um, she was the type of child that she was the oldest, and all her younger sisters understood that she had trouble, so they'd always try to help out. Like, they'd try to help out. There was a few times where um her parents would go out and they'd have her in a stroller because it was easier for her to relax in a stroller than basically be in the wheelchair. It was just easier for her to move her legs. Like, my brother had a classmate that was basically wheelchair bound. She was autistic. She was wheelchair bound, but she had problems with her legs where she cannot stand properly. And she had to have a feeding tube, and I would play with her because my brother and me's recess lessons when he was younger, sometimes our recesses would be shared. So I would, if I wasn't on the swing set, I'd go hang out with his classmate who wasn't allowed to do much because everyone else would like be nice to her, but they wouldn't really play with her because she wasn't really allowed to do much stuff. And I would just walk up and go like, "Hey, what you doing?" And her helper would have toys with her. And sometimes I couldn't go outside on really hot days where I had to be inside for recess. And sometimes I would just be in the classroom with her, talking to her normally, and we'd know when she was happy, when she was mad. Like, we even had like a little iPad that when you pressed a button, it would talk. And she always loved it when someone talked to her like a regular person. Because she may not have known how to communicate, and she was a little bit slow, but she understood people through watching them. Like, people would treat her like, "Oh, you're nonverbal, you're nonverbal, you don't act the same." But there are people that are nonverbal who are very smart, just their brain doesn't work properly to allow them to be verbal. But I've met some people that are nonverbal that are smart. They get aggravated when they can't like speak what they want to say, but when they have a technology or something to communicate, you'll see some of them like press a button or something that, and they'll start communicating with you. And I've met a few where I've met some that will actually use the typing part and cuss you out for a moment, where I go like, "Oh shoot, I made a bad mistake." No, don't do that to someone. Like, I've always been taught to be nice. I know some people go like, there are people with select mutism. I've met a few people with that. I sometimes have my moments where if I get overwhelmed, I sometimes go quiet, I disassociate, I do type more. Or I won't answer someone and people go like, "What's going on?" Like, I've had people in real life come up to me and talk to my grandma and me not talk. Or I'll talk a little bit but I'll walk away like a dork. And just get asked, "Is she okay?" And my grandma have to explain to them that I don't like Walmart and stuff because it gets too loud and too many people and bad memories of working there, and just the anxiety of just so many things going on, because Walmart is, to me, a place where just too many things happen there. And after working there at one point, I don't go to Walmart.
What have you witnessed in your life that you would describe as magical?
What's magical to me is I went to a circus for I can't remember what circus it was, but it was a circus that donated their money towards that one commercial that you see all the time about with the kids that are in the hospital, Shriner kids, I went to a
Mm-hmm.
Shriner circus.
Oh.
And one of my god siblings is actually a Shriner's kid. She's
Mm.
now almost an adult, but she's a Shriner's kid. She has a lot of medical health issues. Sadly, her mom passed away around 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Um, technically 20. It was around 2024 to 2023 is when she passed. I had problems with memory, but sadly, when she passed away, it was hell
Mm.
on my part because I had lost my godmom.
Mm-hmm.
She was the nicest, sweet person in the world.
Mm.
Um, she always had to keep my parents at a leash, trying to like scold them.
Mm-hmm.
She was my dad's best friend, and he was older than her, but they grew up together in high school and middle school, and they were really good friends.
Mm.
Um, she was the best person. Her youngest daughter, her oldest daughter is 6 months older than me. Her youngest daughter is a few years, is now about to be 18 this year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But her older sister and her don't get along that much. Basically, she was born when I was around going into middle school. That was the shocking part, was going into middle school, finding out you're gonna have another god sibling. That god sibling did have some issues where she was in the hospital a lot, had a lot of surgeries. She is shorter than me a little bit, but also she had to get hormone therapy to basically cause her developmental to grow a little bit faster
Mm-hmm.
because her body wasn't able to keep up, but it also caused some issues.
Mm.
Um, she's right now, when she was about 13, her body had already stopped aging,
Mm.
had basically stopped maturing. She had already gotten big boobs, was short a bit like I was.
Mm-hmm.
She had one, she has a club foot. She had a lot of health issues where she had to basically be homeschooled for a bit. Um, she has gotten into some trouble with her adopted mom, kids, people thinking her being the type of teenager to be dumb enough to do stupid stuff. Um, she's kind of spoiled, but she's a loving kid.
Mm-hmm.
But she grew up basically having medical issues, having to be in the hospital all the time. And I do gamer outreach during the summer
Mm-hmm.
for a month of raising money. I try to raise money when I can
Mm.
on that particular week for um when outreach happens, is because I grew up seeing a lot of my friends be Shriner kids. I've had a brother that had some issues where my blood brother for a bit had to get a few small surgeries. He had a port swine birthmark, also capillary blood vessels deciding to pop on his head on one side
Ooh.
and having to get them like surgically removed and fixed.
Ooh.
It can be kind of sucky. Um, I've had nasal reconstruction surgery because of no one noticing that I had broken my nose twice as a little kid and not being able to breathe through my nose for almost most of my life until I got surgery in late 2015,
Mm.
and that was fun. Uh, Learned a lesson after surgery: don't get ice cream.
Mm.
I was that type of person to go into a Baskin Robbins with after surgery, trying to get ice cream, and then get told to go back to the car.
uh, so, what's the furthest you've ever traveled on a whim?
I've never traveled really that far.
Hmm.
I've actually been to Cedar Rapids, Iowa for a choir event when I was part of Sweet Adeline's a cappella group. One
Hmm.
of their competitions. I went there with my small group for the section we were part of. Got to go up against bigger groups, but we were small town people. A lot of elderly women and a few of us younger ones.
Hmm.
We got to go. We had fun. Uh, Being in a hotel, having to share a room with elderly folks was fun. I had sometimes had to sneak off to see the younger ones because they got their room all to themselves, and they're like, once I went to high school with, and they're younger, a little bit younger than me, had to go like hang out with them for a bit because we were all like, they had just turned 21, so a bunch of us were just like just being dorks,
Hmm.
and we went swimming and we had a lot of fun. We went. I had to sometimes had someone pay for me because I didn't have enough money for some of the stuff. So a lot of the people that were there, um, basically helped out with um me being able to eat food. Although on a car ride back, I did not have like a smartphone or anything, so I had like an old phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have a lot of the stuff that I have now.
Hmm.
Um, Basically, I had an old phone, and I had to basically just take that with me to the whole thing, and having to listen to music on my phone, their earbuds, also having to be like 21, being told they can't buy scratch tickets in Iowa until I was 22. Just just standing there going like, "What?" And just like, "Damn."
Hmm.
Cuz I tried to get a scratch ticket, guys. I was bored that night.
Nice.
We were heading back, every other girl in the car I was in with the younger ones, and then having to be in the front seat, only having to listen to Rocky Horror Show and not be able to like switch seats with anybody
Hmm.
because of that, and being the one that got told that you had to be in the front seat. I did get like a lot of cool views watching it. I wish I brought like a camera or something for that because there was so many pretty things while driving through Iowa. We went through the back roads, saw
Mm-hmm.
abandoned towns that interested me,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone kept going like, "Aqua, what is with you in that?" And I kept going like, "What? I want to go explore abandoned stuff. You find a lot of things in abandoned towns that you don't see a lot,
Hmm.
and sometimes going into abandoned property, you might find something that is old from that time period, and heck, I've had a few friends that literally have gone to really small towns where there's nobody left, but there's buildings where it's like open in some parts. It's completely abandoned, and we go in and we find things that were like interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and we clean it up, and we'd ask like their grandfather stuff to praise it, and he'd tell us like how much it's worth. Like he was an appraiser, but we found some things that he just gave us like money for
Mm-hmm.
just to spend, even though it was a little bit. He We found parts that were from really old machines that were junk to some people, but treasures to some to fix things. And he'd pay us like a little bit, but we found out later on he was scamming us. But that was the funny part. We didn't care.
Hmm.
You make a little bit, you have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
Um, I grew up basically kind of halfway through childhood until I was an adult, being able to do things like kid things that I never got to do as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Started to do it when I was a teenager.
Mm.
Kind of was the rebellious type. Me and my friend did used to sneak out sometimes to go to parties a little bit without my parents knowing that there were parties going on. My friend that was younger than me, um, she'd sneak out of her house because living with her grandparents and having a mom in prison wasn't the best for her.
Mm-hmm.
And she also smoked, so I'd go with her just to keep her safe. There was times where I've learned that I shouldn't have done that, but I was just being the friend that was older, trying to keep my friend from being safe and her doing stupid, and just being close by
Mm.
and getting her out of trouble if I had to.
Yeah. So, uh, would you ever talk to a stranger unprompted in a public setting?
Oh, I've had strangers actually come up to me like unpromptly ask me something and just go like, "Oh, yeah," and we'd end up talking like um I've been in the ER section where we had a tornado accident happen a few years ago, and I had very bad tremors. It was at the time that they didn't know that I had a mini stroke. They just thought it was anxiety. Um just real bad anxiety and shit that caused my tremors to act up even worse. And they thought I was having like a seizure or something when it wasn't, they found out later on. But this late old lady just randomly started talking to me, trying to calm me down because at the time I was so um out of it that I was talking baby talk a bit and was like confused because everything was all loud and stuff and I couldn't really like comprehend things for a moment. But this lady came up to me, like, talking to me and trying to calm me down, understood that I was really smart. She'd seen me a few times in other places, like, where I was normal, and ever since then, she's whenever we see each other in a Walmart or something, she goes like, "What's up, little sis?"
Hmm.
And I'm go like, "Oh, you're that lady from that time." Like, I've met some people that, strangers that randomly have seen me and go like, "Are you this person's friend?" And I'll go
Hmm.
like, "Yeah," and they go like, "Oh, I'm their cousin." I just wanted to know, this person's a crush on you, and like, I've accidentally walked up to someone where I've seen them before, walked up to them saying, "Hey, I know you,"
Hmm.
and they wouldn't know me, but I would know them because the fact is, they'd be my friend's cousins,
Hmm.
and I'd be the type just to go up to them, and go like, "Hey, I know you. You're this
Hmm.
person's cousin. So what you doing around here? Aren't you supposed to not be around here?"
Hmm.
I had a few that were the type that one time decided to blow up a Walmart bathroom with fireworks.
Wow.
Yeah, we had someone decide to set off fireworks in the men's bathroom at Walmart and broke the pipes.
Hmm.
Sadly, I wasn't working that day, but when they put like the security cams asking for for people to identify, I knew two of them and Ax may have pointed them out, knowing them due to bad experiences, and going like, I know those two.
Hmm.
And I told the cop, I told my manager where two of them lived, and um those two since then have avoided me since then because the fact is I kind of like ratted them out, but I also knew what type of trouble they were.
Hmm.
It was one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, I've done some stupid things where I walked up to a stranger that was a cosplayer and told them their cosplaying skills was so cool that I really liked, where we just end up chatting, and just basically would get photos. Like, it happens all the time where you accidentally say something and then someone answers you. I've had a few times where my dad has embarrassed people in freaking Hot Topic or Spencer's. Spencer's is funny when you go into the back room and you see all the things, and then my dad just randomly making a comment in front of two girls trying to be discreet, and my dad just saying, "Oh, like just being a dad," and just telling the person who was trying to help them that didn't understand what they were trying to get at, and just going like, "Oh, they're looking for lesbian toys," and then away. It's always fun when you ended up when you're like standing there going like, "Dad, no!" And then you doing it also and just going like, I've met some people that were like really discreetful, come up to me and tell me that my panties were showing once because my dress, like the back of my dress, some kid decided to pull a little bit up and play with, like mess with it where it didn't like I didn't even notice that someone was behind me like had messed with my dress at the time. And a random teenager came up to me and just like told me, "Hey, someone messed with the back of your dress. Your panties are a bit showing." And me just embarrassingly fix it. And still to this day, I'd make sure to check everything. Like, I've learned, um, don't carry certain purses in a Crown Center in Kansas City, or else you'll have your wallet stolen.
Wow.
I've had that happen where I've had my wallet stolen my senior year on a
Wow.
trip. That's the bad part.
Hmm.
Club trip and have your wallet stolen.
Yeah. So,
Never got it back.
what's your earliest memory?
Oh, my earliest memory?
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people don't know that what my earliest memory is the trauma that happened with me being taken away
Mm-hmm.
at 2. That is my earliest memory.
Well.
There are some things that my parents would say that I've done, and then me like get small flashbacks because my family's a bit superstitious.
Mm-hmm.
There's things that have happened around that we could not explain, or I've had photos where things photos didn't come up right. We'd get like weird white wisps of thing in the camera when my dad would take pictures from when I was little. Just weird things happen where we get like small blotches of white, like it looked like it was something was there but it wasn't. And it would confuse everyone because my dad was the type to actually go do the stuff where you take the photo and you do the whole the room where they do the whole like the photos and stuff where you take I can't remember what they call it.
Well, like a booth.
Not a booth, but where you actually just manually get the photo image to show and stuff through like the black rooms, those types of rooms.
Like the studio.
Yeah, but where it was like the old fashioned type where you had like film and stuff.
Yeah.
You had to get that's what he used to do a little bit. And a lot of things that we've caught from when I was a kid, always like I've always known that I was an empath towards some people. I always feel emotions of other people. That's why I am sometimes when I'm around a really happy person like you are, I can be very happy.
Mm-hmm.
I adapt. How I told people when you're around many different peoples, you adapt or you feel certain emotions where you end up learning things like I am autistic. I learned from other people. I've learned to adapt sometimes because some people don't like the YouTuber stuff, so I have to like calm
Mm-hmm.
it down. Some people are oh, you have to act a certain way, you're gonna make people uncomfortable. And I always tell people that everyone has their days. People
Mm.
do try to be positive. A lot of us who suffer from mental health, even I have problems sometimes where I do trauma dump, but I don't mean to. I
Mm-hmm.
always tell people that sometimes my days are shitty, that when you have a condition where a brain injury where you cannot help it, where you forget things, and sometimes you have to reread the rules, but some people don't realize some people do not have capabilities of going to a therapist or talking to anybody
Mm-hmm.
to get help because therapy right now is so expensive
Mm.
that it's really hard to like get in. I've been on a wait list until like a year ago, almost a year and now 4 months, that I basically did not have a therapist. It took them a long time to get me back into therapy because I had to wait, like, went to therapy a couple of times, had to be switched to different therapists. And the one I'm with right now, really sweet, always tries to help me figure out my stuff. And that's what I do usually on Saturdays or Sundays is have therapy. Luckily this week we didn't have therapy. I do have her next week though. But therapy is good, but remember guys, a lot of people have different um conditions where therapy is not available. Some of us do take medications. A lot of people struggle with things that are a lot harder, and just try to be an ear to listen to. I know that I get yelled at for being the worried wart I am about a lot of my friends who do not have a way to get into therapy. They're from different countries. Everyone does everything differently.
Mm.
I've met some people where they have rules that say no trauma dumping, and I always feel like if you're uncomfortable, just tell someone you're uncomfortable. Don't be like making a ticket saying you're uncomfortable with this person because of what they say. Go talk to that person, even in private if you can,
Mm.
and tell them what makes you uncomfortable. Don't be like some people where you hold it in and then when and make a complaint in another person's server towards make a ticket and make a complaint about that person because that person may not know. A lot of people, like me, I have problems like telling when people are uncomfortable because I am autistic. I have certain problems where I can't tell with sound or how people act if they're uncomfortable or not
Mm-hmm.
because of the way I was raised. I didn't have many friends growing up.
Mm.
I moved around a lot where I didn't get to make really much friends. I socialize more through online than I do in real life because I'm always not able to go many places in real life because I'm from a small town. I don't get to go out that much. Everyone I know has moved away or have kids now, and it's a bit hard to go places when you can't drive and yeah, kind of stuck. So my way of communicating is through random things. So I used to be a role player before I was a streamer,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to do D&D, all that stuff. And a lot of people don't realize that technically VTubing is like role playing because you're playing a character.
Mm.
You're you're making a lore, you're bringing out a character to life, acting like that character. Sometimes that character has mood swings. Every character is different. It depends on who you are. I've always told people, for me, I'm like an axolotl because axolotls um don't have really a voice because they are actually mute, but I go like in a way. Everyone says axolotls are happy because they're kind of how do I put it? Some people think they don't have a brain. Like they do at times have brains. It's the goldfish you gotta worry about because they'll forget things in a few minutes.
Hmm.
But I basically base myself as an axolotl because right now I know that we all change and axolotls are always in the youthful section or always kind of like stuck in a baby form where axolotls are technically uh, a baby form of a salamander because salamanders actually start out as axolotls
Hmm.
and they go through an evolution where they become salamanders. There are certain salamanders that actually will start off looking like an axolotl and will evolve into the salamander form later on in life. And it's kind of interesting because if axolotls aren't taken care of that much, they will become a salamander. If their habitat is messed with too much, they will, for some reason, turn into a salamander. It always confuses me, but axolotls also have the ability to regenerate. Even parts of their brain they can regenerate, I found out. Or
Wow.
like a piece of their heart.
Wow.
Like even their nervous system, they can regenerate it. It's one
Hmm.
of the things that scientists are looking into, and axolotls are actually endangered right now.
Wow.
They are an endangered species.
Hmm. So, what is your favorite and least favorite month of the year?
Ugh. I my favorite month is Halloween month
Mm-hmm.
because Halloween's my favorite type of the year. Um, I for some reason question Christmas because I grew up with Christmas not being the best type of year for me.
Mm-hmm.
I do love it to a point, but Christmas is one of those things that my birthday's like a few weeks after Christmas. I'm January 7th, so
Hmm.
2 weeks after Christmas is my birthday. And a
Wow.
lot of people forget my own birthday in my house. It's bad, guys. I've had multiple people, even in my family, kind of forget.
Hmm.
And I grew up where it's just I tried having a birthday party once and nobody showed up for it.
Wow.
That was the sad part. It was at Pizza Hut too.
Who wouldn't show up to Pizza Hut?
I don't know. A bunch of the kids in my class. It was when my parents sent out the invitations, and a lot of people couldn't make it because it was 2 weeks after Christmas,
Hmm.
and a lot of them did not have money to get Christmas gifts, or they were visiting family. And my dad tried.
Hmm.
He goes like, that's when he said this is why he didn't like doing didn't allow us to have birthday parties when we were growing up, is because not many he'd do something and kids would not show up for my birthday, is why he stopped doing it. Because after my fifth, around my kindergarten birthday when we did the Pizza Hut thing, he stopped doing it because the fact is no one really showed up, and I wasn't really surprised. I just basically shrugged it off, going like, okay. um I found out later on that a lot of parents didn't show up is because they their kids thought I was weird
Hmm.
because of me just being me, and the fact is um a lot of the parents had issues with people just there was just a lot of issues with the parents when I was younger. I always went like,
Hmm.
okay, like I've been to a few birthday parties where it was Harry Potter themed.
Yeah.
When Harry Potter first came out when I was in 4th grade, my friend mom, who was Italian, had done a whole Harry Potter theme birthday party
Wow.
where you gotta do the sorting hats.
Hmm.
I got Gryffindor. Haha.
So, what's your favorite thing you've ever cooked yourself?
Oh, I've got to cook a fruit tart at one point. Was
Ooh.
really bored and decided to make a fruit tart, even though it was in cooking class.
Mm-hmm.
We were making fruit tarts, and for me, having weird moments. Um, my group didn't have enough people, but we still made it anyhow. And I literally was the one that like was doing a lot of the stuff because the other girls were just like couldn't figure it out, and I'm just going like, okay, read the thing that we were supposed to do. At that time, I was able to do it all on my own. Literally looked at everyone, just going like, it's a fruit tart.
Hmm.
It's a fruit tart.
Nice. So, on the other side, what's the worst thing you've ever cooked yourself?
Is it bad that I burnt um nachos in a microwave? Accidentally put them on for 30 minutes instead of 30 seconds.
Oof. That'll do it.
And having your family have to replace a microwave after that.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. Uh, okay. You find $50 in the street and there's nobody around to claim it. What do you buy with it?
$50? Hmm.
$50.
Um, if I've learned this, always save it if you have to, because sometimes food, or if you see someone that's really having that's homeless or something, I sometimes will be nice enough to get them food and stuff. I've been in a situation where being near the poverty line, having almost gone homeless before, have had so many issues where um I've been the type that always, if someone needed money, I'd be the one to go like, okay, and I get told, Aqua, save your money, but I go like, but there's people that do need it more than me at times.
Hmm.
I don't care if I'm having problems with money. I'll figure out a way to get my own money, but sometimes there's people out there that do need it, that just need it more than I do.
Hmm.
I look at it as like this, that I was raised to basically, if somebody needed help, it's always good to help them out, even when you're not well off either. Even a little bit can make a person's day. My grandfather, that is my father's own dad. He passed away when I was in 4th grade, but he was the type of person that, as he got older, he was always helping out people, no matter what. He'd even give like money to people that were on the streets, that were homeless and stuff, because he understood what it was like. Because he grew up during a time where um, they were dirt poor.
Hmm.
He grew up, his family um, grew up in a time where a lot of them had were really dirt poor. They didn't have much, but they'd always help people, and that people would sometimes help them out, and they were the type of person to, you're raised to basically, it doesn't matter how much you have, even a little bit does count. Even helping out someone that's in the same boat as you, that a lot of people will give back in some way.
Mm.
Always be kind to others, and that in some way, someone might be able to help you out in the deer run.
Mm-hmm.
You might get something back. I've basically seen people in real life that will help other people. I've seen YouTube channels that where people who have gone through the most shittiest things help out other people who are on the streets trying to get away from drugs and stuff and helping them get a better life.
Mm.
My stepmom, I'll be honest, she actually dropped out of high school, had a kid, had to get married, and also done a lot of shitty things where she did drugs and stuff
Mm-hmm.
because her sister did it, but she ended up getting doing the worst of it. And she says, I've done a lot of drugs, I've done a lot of shit that I'm not proud of, but I met your dad. He's the one that helped me out through a lot of things. I helped him throughout with a lot of stuff dealing with your mom, and I'm going like, I understand. And I look up to my stepmom because she's taught me that no matter where you're from, no matter the background, always be kind. But always remember, everyone's from a different background. I was raised by people that were mostly older generation that didn't grow up with much. That I've learned that some of my family members grew up during the Dust Bowl in the
Mm.
1930s
Mm.
and 1920s. Like, I've met some family members that are really old that they didn't get hot water till they were about um close to close to college.
Wow.
My grandmother on my mom's side, she didn't get hot water till she was about 18. Her senior year of college, her senior year of her high school, she didn't get hot water till she was halfway through high school, but she dropped out, married my grandfather, who isn't a great person, but how she was raised during the years where, yeah, stay with the person, you separate, but you don't really like divorce them because in their eyes, um, the baby boomers, some of them are raised by the silent generation where um you basically stay married but you're separated, that divorce is a bad idea
Mm-hmm.
looked upon about in society. And I was raised by those types of people where they were taught you treat everyone with respect, you give respect, you'll get respect, you help someone out, they'll help you out in a way.
Mm.
That no matter what, just be kind. Like, it's one simple thing that we're all taught as a young age to be kind, but I've noticed recently in even my generation, I'm technically a millennial slash um generation Z
Mm-hmm.
because I was born in 97, but I'm technically the micro generation. From 97 to 99, you have the micro generation, which are the late gen millennials going into the Gen Z type kids that were raised at a time where their parents were either Gen X, millennials, or even baby boomers
Mm.
that are different. Like, we're all raised in different things, but when I see like out Gen Alpha and a lot of the new generations, I question even the Gen Z kids, going
Mm.
like, guys, you complain about so many things, but you think about it, if we all work together and helping each other out more and not like showing off money, like expensive things of how much money you have, there are places all around the world where people out there will help more with giving food out to people.
Mm.
I was raised that even getting food for someone is a lot better than just having name brand items, even helping someone get clothes is a really good idea.
Mm.
I've grew up being hand-me-downs.
Mm.
I don't even buy clothes that much often anymore because of the fact I was raised wear your clothes until they have holes in them
Mm.
type deal. That's how some of us are raised.
Mm. So, what's your favorite animal?
Hmm. Axolotls.
Well, I probably should have predicted that, admittedly. So,
Axolotls. But also, I love snakes. I love all types of animals. That's the bad part. I grew up an animal lover from heck. I didn't even care what type of animal it was. If it looked cute, if it looked interesting, or if I found like facts that were very interesting, I loved them. Even history, even dinosaurs, and
wow.
trains a little bit. I grew up with the habit of how my parents put it. It was either anything with dinosaurs, history, certain animals, jellyfish were one obsession I had. Bats bugged them a bit. Like fantasy creatures, they go like, yeah,
Hmm.
she's a nutty.
Hmm. So, if you could wake up with one talent tomorrow, what would it be?
Hmm, one talent. Hmm, that's a hard one. Okay, one talent I wish I could have. I wish I understood how to do more technological stuff than have to ask my friends all the time for help.
Hmm. That I'm certain would be very useful.
I'm
I,
not techie savvy.
hmm.
I know some things, but sometimes I have to ask my friends like, "Hey, Dad, guys, can anyone like fix my computer real quick?"
So, uh, which decade's aesthetic vibes with you the most?
Decades aesthetic? Um, hmm. I'm more of the fantasy, dark fantasy, gothic kind of core.
Okay.
Um, I chose this particular style for Aqua's first form
Mm-hmm.
because it brings out the fantasy look.
Mm-hmm.
You could see a lot of oceany stuff, the bright colors, but I'm making my character to be unique because every VTuber lore is different, and I want to bring things where you see different sides of Aqua that you don't usually see with people. Is different versions of themselves in different styles. I am one of those people that loves every type of aesthetic. Some aesthetics I don't get, some I do, but the goths thing has always been a thing that I never got to really wear as growing up because of parents with the fact of money. My mother being the going like, okay, you can't have this, like being raised by an overprotective parent when you tried to like express yourself, then having grandparents that were um baby boomers try to put you in pink and stuff, like floral stuff, like modest women type clothing, make you look more proper, and
Hmm.
not being able to like express yourself. I had problems expressing myself.
Hmm.
Now that I'm older, I've been slowly expressing myself. I try to look for things to buy that are online that are a little bit cheap, but sometimes you gotta, right now, it's expensive. Even going to secondhand stores where I'm at, a lot of the clothes are not my size, so it's a little bit harder to like find clothing when you're um a bit chubby, and also you're short and you have a big chest area, and a lot of the clothes are either too small, too big, or too tight in certain areas where your grandparents go like, "Oh, that's a tight shirt." You're just going like looking at them like I don't care if it's really that tight. It's my
Mm.
favorite shirt.
Mm.
Um, it's just one of those things. I grew up on a lot of different aesthetics as a person who's raised by artistic family. My dad knew a lot about fashion and colors. He's always told me that with right now how I look, that stripes that go sideways, um, that a lot of girls you see wear with the leggings and stuff that are just stripes. If they're vertical, they'll make you look slimmer, but if they're wide, they'll make you look a little bit more chunkier.
Mm.
Like he told me that wearing certain skirts can make you look different.
Mm-hmm.
That I've learned a lot of things from families. I have a friend that's teaching me about how to do um, measuring for a corset because I have some problems where I really can't stand certain bras because of wiring, but also just can't stand them. So I thought a corset might help a little bit with some of the areas I have problems with because sometimes corsets, I know people don't like them, but they do help with waist training, but they also help with people who have back issues with having back problems like I do a little bit where being short statured, I do have a problem where one of my legs is a little bit shorter than the other. I have to sometimes where I don't have enough money right now to get the thing that I'm supposed to get that are things for shoes that's supposed to help with fixing that problem. But I also have grown up with a little bit of back issues, and because I'm got big girls in this chest area, it's hurts my back a lot. And I got recommended by a chiropractor that wearing a corset could help with the boob situation, like keeping them in a certain area where they're not hurting so much, like having a little bit more support,
Mm-hmm.
but also helping me with my weight loss journey, helping
Mm.
me not eat so much because I have a bad habit of overeating.
Yeah. So, do you collect anything?
I collect random things actually. I sometimes, if I can, collect miniverse. I've collected manga before, but lost those due to people stealing them.
Mm-hmm.
I collect resin supplies. I am the type that collects a lot of random things. I love anime stuff, but sometimes they're so expensive where it's just really hard to like get what you want to get,
Mm-hmm.
but also having to pay your medical bills and stuff where you're kind of in like, for me, a bind because I'm on SSI. A lot of my money goes to food, medical bills, paying my phone bill. A lot of things I have to pay for. That gets a lot expensive.
Hmm.
Plus, I grew up not having much, so whenever, like this month, I kind of had some bills I had to pay that I didn't even realize I had, that I thought I had some subscriptions finally canceled but didn't. So I learned my lesson.
Hmm.
But sometimes I'd have to buy clothing if I could online because where I'm at, we don't have like stores that I like that have my size and stuff, and it's a lot harder to find things in a smaller town that fit the way I like to dress than than other places like in the city. I'm from a small town.
Hmm.
A lot of us either take a trip to the city, get clothes, head back home. But with my situation, I have a person that doesn't like driving at night because they can't really see. So, and 2 hours back is time consuming, plus also you don't get to be there that long, and it's kind of hard when you have to drive 2 hours from one place to 2 hours to the city.
Hmm.
You rather just want to buy online and pay shipping costs than have to deal with the whole
Hmm.
going into the store, having to try on things, get stuck or see other places, and just it gets aggravating after a while.
Hmm. So, uh, my final question for the interview: what smell reminds you of home?
Oh, home. I really don't have a home right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
there's
what
one.
what is a smell that you find reminiscent of a positive time in your life?
Well, I've always had. I wasn't able to smell much as a kid due to having not being able to smell through my nose that well
Mm-hmm.
growing up. So for me, I love every type of smell, but if I smell dragon's blood incense, it brings me back to my dad's house, and
Hmm.
I hate that. I even told my dad that stuff makes me sneeze.
Hmm.
But any type of scent that is like reminds me of summer or anything like spooky scents, like there's so many smells that I tell people that anything that reminds me of family, of certain like smells that I remember few people that are now gone in my lives used to smell like.
Mm-hmm.
It brings back good memories and sad memories, but also reminds me that I'm still here.
Hmm.
I know that I will be honest, guys. Um, why I'm living with my grandmother is because I did have a bad breakdown and
Mm-hmm.
accidentally took the wrong medication and thought taking more of my meds would help with a headache when it could have killed me. And I didn't realize at the time I was breakdown, being having really bad head pains and not being able to calm it down and just calling your grandmother saying I think I'm having problems. It hurts.
Hmm.
Then her and the firefighters having to come get me from my home. Had to stay in an IC unit till my birthday of 2018, but I've learned that after living with my grandma that usually what she puts out, sometimes her house smells like just smells funny. I
Hmm.
always tell people when you walk into my grandma's house, sometimes you'll smell either pie scents or you'll smell something that reminds you of a grandma's kitchen.
Hmm.
But I've grown up where it's mostly certain objects get me. Like if I see something from like a childhood that I have not seen in other people's house, it reminds me of family. My grandmother collects things from her childhood that um were from her grandparents' time that I've never seen, but I've always like slightly seen. Even recipes.
Hmm.
I have a few that my last year my cousin on my dad's side, um, she was one of the older ones. She was the baker of the family. She passed away. She was technically a great grandma herself, but she passed away last year in June. And what was sad was I got to know her a little bit through my childhood, through going to funerals and sometimes knocking into them in the city. She was one that was always helpful on mental health and a loving old woman. I got left two of her recipes. I do have to contact her daughter for a few more because I found out that one of my family members is right now keeping everyone's every keepsake of the family, like marriage certificates, all that, like a bunch of family history things put up in a few chests that I didn't even know about till I started asking them questions. And they're like, yeah, we have a lot of things that are in the family that are recipes, a lot of old stuff that is just kept in the family that they have no one right now to go through and organize and take photos, or people cannot read. Some people in the family cannot read cursive.
Mm-hmm.
So I sometimes wish there was an app that actually read cursive,
Mm-hmm.
because I can't read it that well. I know one of my family, my grandmother can. I can't read cursive, but I can write in it a little bit. Because
Mm.
I grew up having to do cursive, and nowadays you don't see that.
Yeah.
It's like kind of funny when people can't read cursive and you can read it to a point, and then them just going like, me almost being 30 being asked like, what's cursive? What's a signature?
Mm.
How do you write a signature? Because they don't teach cursive nowadays, and that's how we used to do signatures. Is technically you wrote in cursive, which was a form of writing that you just wrote in.
Mm.
I used my signature. Basically, mine looks like a doctor's note, but I've been I've noticed this recently that a lot of the things that has changed is cursive. No one uses it anymore. It's died, and I feel bad for our generation right now, because what happens if you need to do a signature?
Mm.
Everyone has a unique signature, and many people don't have that no more.
Mm-hmm.
And I go like, in Japan they have a thing where you have to have a stamp, a specialized stamp, which I think would be good for the US if we had actual like stamps and stuff to show person's property.
Mm.
Because I've noticed, since one of my friends, I do have like a couple friends that do live in Japan, where they said they have like little stamps where you have your signature and a stamp, and you use the stamp to finalize things. And
Mm.
it's a specialized stamp that only you have. And you can customize it to anything, and it's unique, and it's just something that basically shows that that is your signature and stuff, that you can't copy it. Um, it's one of those things, and a lot of people go like, well, you can't copy stamps, and I go like, no, you can if you have them customly made. Even back in the old days with letters,
Mm.
with the whole putting wax seals, there were many seals you could not replicate, because the fact is seals are a lot harder to replicate. And you could
Mm.
tell when it's been opened too. I've learned that.
Yeah. So, thank you very much for coming out today. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Uh, and if you're in the audience right now, you can find links to all of Aqua's various socials in the description to this video,
Hi guys.
as well as in the side chat. Be sure to subscribe, and thank you once again, Aqua. I've been your host, Jack Jinseki, and joining me today was
You're
Aqua.
welcome.
But
Thanks. I'm very happy, and I'm like a little bit crying because you're the one person who actually is very nice during interviews. I will be honest. Thank you for having me. When you asked if you could interview me, I was very shocked and going like, how every time I do an interview, people think I'm rambling, or they just don't. They'll have me for one interview, and then they don't want to have me anymore for interviews. And I'm just so glad that you allowed me to be here for an interview.
it's been my pleasure, and with that, bye bye everybody.
Bye bye.